Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're diving straight into the Daily Spark English teacher onboarding material. We're going to break down their WhatsApp coaching method, their signature 15-minute flow, and this is the best part, the actual surprising academic evidence backing the whole thing up. If you've ever felt like traditional language teaching is, a bit too rigid, or if you're an educator who desperately wants a workflow that actually fits into real life without chaining you to a desk to grade papers all day, you are going to absolutely love this. We're looking at how Daily Spark is pretty much flipping conventional English teaching on its head, swapping out those anxiety-inducing classrooms for natural, everyday conversation. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Secret Teaching Tool. Hiding in Plain Sight.
Okay, let's dive into this because it's genuinely fascinating. So often in edtech, we're desperately hunting for the next big, complicated software platform, right? We think, oh, we need virtual whiteboards and these gamified portals just to get adults to learn. But Daily Spark? They take a completely different route. They ask this brilliant question. What if the ultimate English learning tool is already sitting right there in your pocket? Think about the biggest hurdles to practicing spoken English, especially for busy professionals. It usually boils down to two things: zero free time and that paralyzing fear of having to speak perfectly in front of someone else. Daily Spark literally removes both of those massive roadblocks by tapping into a communication platform we already use all day long.
2 billion. That is the massive global user base of WhatsApp. 2 billion people. By anchoring their entire teaching method directly on this app, Daily Spark is taking advantage of what is arguably the most accessible communication tool on the planet. There's no bulky new software for your student to learn, no clunky university portals, no forgotten passwords to reset. It's just you, your student, and an app they're already opening dozens of times a day to chat with friends and family. That simple shift completely changes the vibe from, oh, I have to log in to do my homework, to, oh, I'm just having a quick chat with my English coach. Their whole ethos basically boils down to this: micro lessons, macro results. The secret sauce here is WhatsApp's voice notes feature. It allows for totally zero pressure, asynchronous practice. Just think about it. The student isn't suddenly put on the spot on a live Zoom call where they might freeze up or feel incredibly self-conscious about their accent. Instead, they get to listen to your prompt, take a deep breath, actually think about their response, and then record it whenever they're ready. It's a real human coach offering genuine interaction. No bots, just natural English woven seamlessly into their daily routine. Section 2. The Science of WhatsApp, backed by 37 studies. Now, if you have ever spent hours crafting the perfect email lesson only to hear absolute crickets back, well, you know the struggle of digital teaching. 98%. That is the open rate of a typical WhatsApp message. 98%. That completely blows traditional email out of the water. If you're sending feedback through an educational portal, a huge chunk of your students just aren't going to see it. They're busy. But on WhatsApp, engagement is virtually guaranteed. It's honestly unmatched when it comes to keeping easily distracted, working adults consistently engaged in their learning journey. And the academic evidence backing this up goes way deeper than just flashy open rates. Researchers analyzed 37 different studies, and what they found is that this method legitimately lowers the fear of making mistakes. Why? Because they're not staring at a live video feed. It creates this psychological safety net that is absolutely crucial for language acquisition. Plus, it directly improves speaking skills, boosts vocabulary retention, and massively increases student motivation. This matters because you aren't fighting your students' natural habits, you're actually leveraging them. When Daily Spark teachers use this app, they're deploying a heavily researched, proven tool that turns a daunting task into a simple, manageable daily habit. Section 3. The 15-minute daily flow. Manageable learning. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how they do it. The structure sticks rigidly to their KISS philosophy. Keep it super simple. It breaks down into 3 super focused blocks. Step 1, the student takes just 5 minutes to read and mentally process the day's content. Step 2, another 5 minutes to actually speak, usually by recording a quick voice note back to the teacher. And step 3, 5 minutes to listen and learn from the teacher's personal feedback. That's the whole shebang, 15 minutes a day. The real magic happens in those final 5 minutes. Because as a coach, you aren't just firing off a generic worksheet. You are actively listening to their specific voice note and giving them personalized, actionable feedback that makes them feel truly heard. Short, manageable learning creates curiosity instead of overwhelming pressure. When we hold this up against traditional methods, the contrast is like night and day. Traditional ESL often gets bogged down in correcting every single tiny grammatical mistake with a red pen, just marking answers right or wrong. It's exhausting, and honestly, it often forces the educator to put on this stiff, unapproachable, fake teacher persona. Daily Spark is the total opposite. It's all about communication over perfection. The goal is eliciting answers, getting the student to think and discover the language naturally rather than just handing them the solution. It's about personal feedback that keeps a real conversation going. The student should genuinely feel like the lesson was made just for them, not ripped out of a textbook.
Section 4. Boundaries and Flexibility. Managing your workflow.
So let's talk about the teacher's day, because this workflow gives you real freedom while intentionally guarding against burnout, which, let's face it, is a huge issue in the teaching world. Yes, you can totally work from your couch, a cozy cafe, or even while traveling, straight from your phone. But listen, flexibility does not mean being on call 24/7. Operating hours are strictly Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The expectation is just that you check your phone roughly once an hour to listen and reply to your students. And if a message pops up after 5 p.m., you answer it the next morning, period. You take proper breaks, you get time completely away from your screens, and that allows you to protect your mental health and actually enjoy the coaching process. On the business side of things, the setup is incredibly transparent and empowering. As a Daily Spark teacher, you are in charge of finding and building your own student base. And just to be absolutely clear here, this is not some pyramid scheme. You aren't recruiting other teachers. You just find your own students, and Daily Spark provides the established framework, the content library, the onboarding training, and all the shared resources. In exchange, they take a flat 10% fee for the students you bring into the system. It's a clean, simple model that lets you focus 100% of your energy on being an amazing coach, rather than wasting hours trying to build a tech infrastructure from scratch.
Section 5. Framework versus teacher personality. Consistency matters.
So, the crucial point here is a really vital distinction for anyone stepping into this role. While you are using their highly structured system, you are absolutely not expected to be a carbon copy of the founders. The framework itself, that has to stay totally consistent. The 15-minute routine, the WhatsApp delivery, that predictable, high-quality student experience, none of that changes. But your teacher personality, that is all you. You bring your own unique humor, your natural teaching instincts, and your authentic human connection to the table. You don't need to perform a stiff corporate mask. You just need to be your friendly, natural adult self while delivering that rock-solid Daily Spark experience.
Section 6. The Golden Rules. Simple Principles.
The onboarding documentation wraps up this whole teaching philosophy into a neat set of core principles, golden rules that every coach needs to internalize. Keep it simple. Don't teach everything at once. Actually, scratch that. Don't even try to teach everything at once, because one useful idea will stick in an adult's mind, whereas 10 rules will just totally overwhelm them. Make them curious and let them think. Your job is to guide them to the answer, not act like a walking dictionary. Get them talking, and keep that conversation flowing instead of just correcting a mistake and killing the dialogue. Protect your boundaries so you can actually sustain a long, healthy coaching career. And above all else, be yourself, because genuine authenticity is the only way you build real trust with a learner. You now have this incredibly accessible tool right at your fingertips. It's backed by a robust academic framework, intentionally designed to fit into real, messy daily life, all while giving you the total freedom to just be your authentic self. The Daily Spark English Teacher Onboarding completely reimagines what it means to be an effective language coach today. So I guess the only question left is, what are you going to say first?